There's always been this misconception that great ideas and great intellectual efforts have to be behind a velvet rope. We've challenged that idea. Hi, I'm Moira Shourie, Executive Director of Zócalo Public Square. One thing you have to know about Zócalo is that we take hot topics and we cool it down so it's just warm enough to touch. We're not afraid of taking risks because we trust the audience who we're engaging with. People don't want to fight. People want to come together and, more importantly, plug into new ideas to find their own solutions to the world's problems. Most recently, we've been partnering with the Stanford Institute for Advancing Just Societies on a 4-part series that has taken us around the nation, and we're very excited to be partnering. Well, we introduce new ideas to the world, and then we help people connect to those ideas and to each other by publishing op-eds that operate between two pillars: what makes us human and why is the world the way it is today? And we convene live events that bring people together, and that's in fulfillment of our mission, connecting people to ideas and to each other. We are very purposeful in the kinds of voices that we elevate, and programs and publishing work complementary to each other, which is quite rare for a media organization. We've also been leaning a little bit more into experiences because that also breaks down barriers. So we're trying to have our audience learn something new, do something new, and meet someone new. Zócalo's collaboration with the Institute for Advancing Just Societies, it's been a two-way street, because not only did we bring our A game, but the Institute's work has also really inspired my team. We're thinking more carefully about how we talk about the big forces shaping our society today. And it's actually made us think in a more cohesive way. And then how does that all boil down to individual communities? What I have seen with my own eyes from Asheville, North Carolina, soon after they recovered from Hurricane Helene, the first event that they hosted was the Institute for Advancing Just Societies and Zócalo, asking, how do we see ourselves in each other in this beautiful 8 by 10 foot black mirror where people could stand in front of it and see themselves reflected back. From there, we went to Chicago, working with Kira Dominguez Hultgren, who is a weaving artist, and she had this wonderful woven sculpture where people in the audience could weave their own stories. So it was an interactive experience as well as an art viewing. You're weaving and leaving your own story with the sculpture. The third event was on the East Coast in Brooklyn and New York City, and it was a ceramics artist, Sarah Khan, who used the metaphor of ingredients that have traveled with migrant chefs across oceans and continents, and how that has landed in the street food of New York City. One of the most inspiring moments I found was when we were in Chicago. There were several members, I think we counted about 30 members of the audience, who were actually going through citizenship and naturalization classes. And they were so proud to be present at this event and to weave their own stories into that American flag that we all created together that evening. Why I think that's important actually ties in a lot to who I am and where I come from. Yes, I'm Indian. You can see me wearing a sari. I grew up in Delhi. I'm also part of a very, very small micro-minority known as the Anglo-Indians. There are many communities like mine. We just number 100,000 in the world that refuse to be erased. But because I held true to who I am and wanted to make sure that my story, my presence was felt on this planet, not in a grandiose way, but in one that brings people together so that I can share my stories. And then, you know, when I share that I'm Anglo-Indian and what that means, so many people come up with their own ancestry and how that fits into who they are and how they present themselves in the world. That's how the work of the Institute and Zócalo and me personally have been tremendously meaningful. It's a society that welcomes people to participate in whatever way and form they are ready and willing to participate in, and one that looks beyond skin color, the way you're dressed, how wealthy you are. And I think that would be truly a society that values people. And I don't mean that to say that when we are focused on the individual, that we lose out on the collective. I actually think that we need people to physically be together. I really love this idea of bringing people in direct contact with their city government and the forces that are actually shaping their lives on a day-to-day basis. When people engage truthfully with each other, the collective will take care of itself.